Welcome back to the show, and I'm seated here with a wonderful lady, Dr. Waiya, and she has taken us through how we can safeguard our relationships in our homes and in our community during this time of COVID-19. What she told us is that it's true that our relationships at home are being affected due to spending time together more than usual. And right now, Dr. Waiya is going to take us through some of the things that me and you as women can do that can affect our relationships negatively. Dr. What are some of the things that I as a woman am tempted to do at home right now while spending more time with my husband and my children? Or even a single lady at home that is spending more time with her children, what are some of the things that I am tempted to do that can affect my relationships with my children or my husband?
Yes. Thank you so much, Reverend.
Yes.
One of the things is that people lose patience with one another. And they find it difficult sometimes to tolerate some small mistakes that are done by others.
Yes.
When something goes wrong, somebody snaps up.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Yes.
Sometimes ladies can have very many words.
And we can shout.
Make noise and do all that.
Yes.
But we can change that and look at the positive.
Yes.
So that we direct our energies on things that are positive. And especially when you realize that this is our new normal.
Yes.
You have to adjust and be able to come up with creative things. You have to change the environment positively.
Yes.
So that you start now looking at everything from a positive point of view or perspective.
Yes.
And be able to come up with activities that will benefit everybody.
Yes.
You can even, if you don't have a family altar, or if you have one, can you strengthen it? Because there is so much time together.
Yes, yes.
In the evening, if you are just used to sitting together, probably when you're about to pray for food, and then like sometimes people say, let's make all the prayers.
Yes.
So that you have for food and for going to sleep and all that, extend it a bit.
You extend it a bit.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing that up, because we sometimes tend to forget that, especially this time, whereby everyone is taking dinner at their own time, and maybe they want to go and do their own things, especially if you're a teenager, you're a mom who has teenagers just in the house. But Dr. What are some of the things, like you've mentioned about shouting? Like sometimes I find myself, let me confess, shouting too much in the house because of the age of my children. What are some of the things that us women are fond of doing in the home that could make everyone run away from us, that we can address them today and help a lady that is watching us and say, oh, I'm going to stop doing that. That's exactly me. What are some of the things that we do? Yeah.
Reverend Ruth, you've put it correctly.
Yes.
Sometimes shouting and making a lot of noise in the house.
Yes.
And sometimes having a very wrong way of correcting the mistakes.
Right.
If it is towards the children, you are shouting left, right, and center.
Yes.
If it is towards the husband, is it nail by mouth? You just don't want to say anything, and sometimes you just ignore him.
Yes.
Right now, all of us are in the house. That needs to be corrected. So that even when you're correcting something, when you're addressing an issue that is not okay in the house, tone down. Speak in a way that somebody can be able to understand.
Yeah.
Teenagers, sometimes, if they're able to talk to you, they'll tell you, you should not shout. In fact, they like that. Don't shout.
Yes.
Just tell me.
Yes, my son asks me, Mom, why are you shouting?
Yes. Yeah, they don't like that shouting.
Yes.
Calm down and tell them, this is not correct.
Yeah.
Let's do it with this way, in a particular way, so that at least they can hear you correctly, they can hear you clearly, and they are able to follow what needs to be done.
Yes.
Alternatively, ask them how they want it done.
Wonderful.
You'll be, you'll be surprised that they have very many ideas of how we can be able to do that. Even the way the program should be right now, that all of us are at home.
Yes.
even the duties in the house, tell them to come up with a program, and they will do that in a perfect way.
Wonderful.
If it is to those who have spouses, those who are married,
Yeah.
don't ignore that person, because he's in the house, he has nobody to talk to. You have the children,
Yes.
and you can do all those many things. But now, also involve him in what you are doing, even if it is just sitting there.
Yeah.
Bring a seat to the kitchen if you are the one who is cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and bring up ways of doing it in a lovely way, in a more sensitive way. Some men may not even come to the kitchen because they cannot remember the last time they came to the kitchen.
Yes.
But when you involve him and show him love, he will be able to also change and adjust.
Wonderful.
But that adjustment is all of us, the children, the mothers,
Yes.
the fathers,
Yes.
the spouses, all of us. Yeah, we need to adjust.
I know you've touched a bit on some of the activities we'll do, but I want to say this, Daktari. You know that during times of crisis, women are known to take up good leadership in homes and in the community. And what are some of the things that we as women can, the leadership that we can bring at home right now that can help build good relationships with our children and our husbands? Like we've seen, we like shouting. I don't know if I'm the only one who likes shouting. I don't know. But we've seen like we like shouting. But what are some of the things that we can do at home during this time? Taking up our leadership position as women to enhance relationships at home and also enhance relationships in the community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I've talked about the program you have. In most cases, people don't have any program of how you do things and so on. But if you came up with a small program of what you need to do, like in
Waking
the
up
morning,
without agenda is a no-no.
Yes.
Yes.
In the morning, because now you are at home, set the breakfast.
Okay.
And just give a suggestion. Don't come up with something that you're enforcing everybody to do if they are not used to that. But just give a suggestion and see the response. Can we be taking our breakfast together? So that when the breakfast is set there, all of us are on the table. That gives you an opportunity to pray together.
Wonderful.
If you never used to pray together, especially in the morning, we are at home, and that is a fact.
Yes.
If it is lunchtime, most people probably may not take a very elaborate lunch, and some of them do. But have a way of taking your meals together. There is a way that food brings people together.
Yes.
And especially if it is something that people enjoy.
Yes.
And it is also more economical.
Wonderful.
Yes.
There's no serving your breakfast and then there's a team
and
you
not
go.
serving from the kitchen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, bring it to the table and let us all take it together.
Wonderful.
In the evening, introduce a family altar that is slightly stronger than what you've been having. Yeah, you introduce reading the Word of God together and let everybody make a comment. If your husband is saved, he's the head of the family.
Wonderful.
And if he's the head, challenge him to take that leadership so that at least it is seen even by the children. In any case, you are bringing or you are making your children have something to emulate from you, and something they can take over also to their children when that time comes. And then let people comment about the verse you're reading. Read about a story of somebody. Learn as much as possible from that character in the Bible. If he is not saved, let him also be present there. Daddy, come and, we want to pray. And he will not refuse, especially when the children have already heard. So Daddy comes, don't tell him to pray and embarrass him in front of the children. But as you move on...
Did you hear that? If your husband is not saved, don't tell him to pray. Okay?
Yes, so that at least even, you also give that picture of his being ahead of the family and he's present there with you.
Amen. That's
so
wisdom.
That now, yes, if you read them, because most ladies, especially most of them are believers, you read a verse, let's hear what the children think about it.
Yes.
Also have your contribution.
Yes.
And then pray. Next time when you tell Daddy to contribute, he will also contribute. And he will also find that it is a good thing to also be there to pray. And then when you have issues, even the small issues, most of the people postpone, especially when people are working. they postpone the issues they should talk about. And those issues pile up.
Okay.
By the time now they come and find themselves in the house, women like history. They will recount even the one that happened next year and was not addressed.
Yes.
But this particular time, you as a lady, can you introduce them there? Not in a negative way, but as prayer items.
Okay, wonderful.
So that at least they become softer. And when you start discussing them with your spouse, and you find the temperatures going up, can you also remind him that we prayed about it and we believe that God will do something about it.
Wonderful.
That way, you are now trying to bring down the fire as you look for solutions.
Okay.
And be very wise as a lady, so that when you realize that your husband probably sometimes, if you take a certain dimension, it brings up heat and it takes a wrong dimension. Can you calm down?
Good.
And then know how to go about it. Ask for wisdom. God will give you wisdom on how to tackle different issues. And I believe that that way you will create a better environment in the home, because so many things are dependent on how women behave in the house.
Wow, if I'm hearing well, Dr. you're saying that women should take advantage of this time, whereby they are together with their families, and there are some things they've wanted to talk and discuss as a family that they've been postponing. But this time they should use wisdom in bringing those things out and discuss them maybe with their spouse or with even as a family. That can help us better our relationships and families, because we live in a very fast world, like you said. We don't get this time together. But right now that we are together, please take advantage of addressing even the issues that you have been postponing. Maybe something that you've been planning to buy. After COVID-19, this is the time to discuss, and God will help us together. What about some of the things that we can do with the community that can help us work better in the community?
Yes, and probably before we come to the community, even in the house, learn to be smart. Most people are not changing clothes. It's like you wake up in the morning, you are putting on that cloth that you slept with, or a funny t-shirt, or a, it is wrong. On Sunday, we are used to having our Sunday best. Also have a Sunday best. I asked the other day, I asked somebody when he last put on his suit somewhere. And he said, I have never. I've been in these t-shirts. I asked a lady, when did you ever put on your smart, whatever, you made up your face, you looked smart and nice. You mean even on Sunday? Even
in the house during this COVID-19?
Yes, learn to be smart.
Wonderful.
People, there is something that appeals to the eye when somebody is smart.
Wonderful.
Just like if we met with you, Reverend, like today, you look beautiful. And I'll tell you, oh, you're very smart.
Thank you.
But in the house, we are used now to just those clothes that you don't want to describe. Can we be smart?
They're called tents.
Yes. Yeah, we need to be smart. We need to look good for ourselves and even for our children and for our spouses. And you realize that when you are smart and you are in the house, your children come, oh, Mom, you're very smart. Oh, Dad, you look good. I think those are some of the things that we should not forget to tell one another
during this time.
Yes. Wonderful. So that at least we also learn to appreciate one another. We learn to be together and then create time to be together. Even husband and wife walk outside there even in the evening. Some of them don't even talk, but have a walk together around the compound, outside there, if you are able to do that. And as much as you're not talking to one another, you realize that you may talk about probably the flowers and the plants that you are encountering as you go. By the time you come back, you do it probably after 2 days or 1 day. And as you do that, you realize that now you start warming up to one another. And even the hard things that you're supposed to talk, somehow you soften them and you're able to address them.
Dr. I'm so thrilled with what you've said, that we make sure that we look smart even in the house. That's a topic for another day. Now, Dr. as we wind up, I can see time is really catching up with us. Well, the community, what can we do to enhance relationships? Just in a nutshell, because of time.
There are so many people who are needy outside there. People have lost jobs. Some people don't have food. Some people don't have hope, including probably those of us who have already given permission to our house managers. Remember them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, get something, reach out to them, call people, and just know how they are getting on. And you'll be surprised that somebody, you call somebody, he or she wanted to share something, and you are there. Share with them, give them a word of encouragement,
Amen.
something that can add value to their lives.
Amen.
Don't discourage them and tell them that will be like this even up to next year, this one doesn't. Yeah, because when you look at the TV, there are so many reports that we don't like.
Yes.
But be an encouragement to them. Yes, in whichever way. Materially, in speech, just encourage them.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Make sure you catch up with a friend.
Yeah.
Make sure you know how your neighbor is doing.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And relatives also.
And relatives. Wow. Life is not always going to be perfect all the time. But let me say this. During this COVID-19, these two shall come to pass. And let's concentrate with the good things that our spouses are doing. Let us concentrate with the positive energy. And remember that we are not going to go back to the normal. We are going to go into the new normal. And may the Lord bless you even as you work on your relationships. And may the Lord bless you even as you reach out to know how a friend in the community is doing. My name is Ruth Kayo. Until we meet next time, stay blessed. And remember, you're a powerful woman. Keep pushing forward.